Mike from the Focus Garage coming at you with a quick video here. Do you see how this bulb kind of reflects orange all in the housing? You can kind of see that as you move the camera around there. And then the white bulb is nice and clear. Well, how about this? What if we made this one clear and this one kind of a European-inspired yellow flash the pass light? And that's exactly what we're gonna do in this video. The coolest thing about Miatas, at least on NBs here, is everything is super easy to get through to the back of the headlight housing here and switch it out. So we've got obviously our blinker there and our high beam there. Same thing on this side, blinker super accessible, high beam super accessible. So we're gonna swap these bulbs out, and you can see here again. And I'll have what I'm using linked in the description down below. I went with just with halogen for everything, since we did just upgrade the low beams to LEDs. We're gonna be running just halogens on this because, again, it's not really more for visibility. It's just kind of for the appearance that I want the front of the car to look like while we're driving around here. So without any further ado, let me show you the bulbs that we are working with. So for the low beams here, we have some Noka, however you want to say it, 9005 bulbs, and they are yellow coated there. These are a 65 watts, so they run a little bit more power than the factory bulbs. But you can see here, they're kind of coated in a yellowish color, direct plug and play, nothing wild about that. For the blinkers here, these are going to be a chrome 1157, but it is still orange when the signal is on. So you can see here, the neat thing about that is they're chrome, so obviously they're gonna reflect a clear kind of color in the housing there. So when obviously the bulbs are off, the housing will be nice and clear, and when the bulbs are on, they will still light up orange. So without any further ado, let's go ahead, pull these bulbs out, and see what they look like once the new ones are in. To change the signal, it's very, very easy. You don't need to fish your hand or anything in through there. You can pretty much grab the bulb here and just rotate it counterclockwise. So you can see, it's gonna be hard to film and do it at the same time, but you kind of want to get your hand in there. There's these two tabs. Turn them to the right of the vehicle. And then bam, you can pull the whole housing out. It'll go maybe about 1/8 of a turn, so you'll pull that out. And then with the bulb out, it is a simple push and turn method here. So we've got the bulb out. You can see these little tabs on the bulb here. You want to push and turn. And then when you put the new one in, you're going to go ahead and push and turn. So here's the new bulb, and it's in. So like I said, it's a chrome housing there. So you push and turn. Same thing, fish the housing back through, put it in, and you're going to turn about 1/8 of the turn to the right, and it's in. So the high beam one is super easy as well. Just like the low beam housings here, you're going to want to take the bulb and turn it counterclockwise. It will free the whole harness here just with a simple push tab in the back. You push that down, this goes up, pull the whole bulb out, and you swap the new bulb back in and do it all in reverse. So in case you wanted to know what everything looked like illuminated, here's what you've got with the new high beam bulb, the new low beam bulb, and then the new blinker there. So here's what it looks like with obviously the housing on. It's a little hard to see there. Let me go ahead and shut off the lights so you can see. And now you can see with the light off that you can see kind of the yellow from the high beam there, and then this is now clear. So there is no amber being reflected in that inner housing at all. You just get the yellow of the high beam on the outer housing there for the high beam. No more amber from the chrome bulb, all yellow from the high beam. That is exactly what I was shooting for there. We're gonna be showing you how to install LED fog lights in your NB2 Mazda Miata. The reason I specify that is because the NB2, so 2001 and up, have slightly different bulb and housing style than the earlier NB1s. Now to begin, it's gonna be easiest if you jack the car up. However, on the passenger side, that's not totally necessary, but on the driver's side it is, and I'll show you why. I'm just doing it better for filming's sake here. Once you get the car jacked up, the passenger side actually has a really neat little access hole underneath, so you don't have to remove any kind of panels or anything like that. Let me show you. So we are under the car looking forwards now. So here's the wheel, and right in front of the wheel, you can see you've got this access hole here. Up in through this access hole is exactly where you'll need to go to gain access to the fog light itself. So you can see right in here, this is the back of the fog light housing. So that's exactly where the bulb goes. You've got an electrical connector here that you pretty much pull down on this tab, or pull out on this tab and pull down, and the whole plug comes out. And then you can twist the bulb counterclockwise there to get it out. I've already got the bulb removed here, but it literally just sits in the housing with the plug facing downwards like that. So you twist it counterclockwise and it comes right out. This is an H1 style bulb, so what's interesting about this is that this bulb actually comes out of the plug itself. You're not replacing the bulb that comes with the plug, you're replacing just the bulb itself. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. All right, so obviously I've got the bulb out of the housing, and here's what I was talking about. The bulb itself literally pulls out of the housing, and you'll know the orientation of this here based on this flat spot. So there is a flat spot that pretty much aligns with this nub in the base, and that's how the new bulb will go in. But this is your power for it, and the rest of the metal contact is the ground, and that's kind of how that works there. So this is the bulb that's gonna come out, and I'll show you what I'm putting in. What I'm putting in is a H1 direct replacement here, and it looks like exactly the same thing as the bulb that it pulled out. So here you can see the bulb that I pulled out on my left. Here's a new bulb going in on the right. It is an LED, and I don't want to have to worry about replacing this again. So that's kind of why we are doing what we're doing. But you can see it's got the same metal notch on the bottom, the same tab. This should line up exactly with the housing. So as you can see here, I've got the housing. Here is that flat tab I was talking about. You're going to want to line that up perfectly and push it in, and you're good to go. That's it. You've got the tab lined up there. Go ahead and push that back into the housing in the car, and you are done. Now, in order to gain access to the driver's side, you've got to remove this splash shield a little bit. Now, you don't have to take it all the way out of the way. You're just going to want to focus on these Phillips head screws underneath. So you got a few here. You're going to take those out, and then you're going to peel back probably the first or second pop clip here, and then you'll be able to kind of pull this in and get in the fender the way you need to there. It's very, very strange to me that you've got the access hole there on the passenger side, but here on the driver's side, it's totally closed off and there's no way to get in there. So you've got to pop these screws off here along the bottom, and then maybe the first or second clip here in order to get this to peel back. Once you've got that peeled back, it'll be the exact same thing. You've got the fog light right up in the bumper there. You'll be able to twist, turn the bulb, remove it, and you'll be good to go. And that's all it takes to install fog lights on your NB2 Miata.